Allis-Chalmers CA. In 1950, Allis-Chalmers introduced the Model CA tractor, a significant step up from the previous Model C. During nearly a decade of production through 1958, the West Allis, Wisconsin, plant produced more than 39,000 CAs. When it first appeared, the machine cost about $1,900, a significant sum at the time, but for many farmers, it was a worthy investment. What made the Allis-Chalmers CA special was its excellent balance of compact size and powerful performance. It was not too big to be difficult to maneuver in small fields, nor too small to be limited in its work. For many family farmers in the 1950s, the CA was a loyal friend, a companion from dawn to dusk behind the corn and soybeans. The Allis-Chalmers CA is powered by a 2.1-liter, four-cylinder engine that produces around 23 horsepower at the PTO and nearly 23 horsepower at the drawbar. This allows it to pull a 14-inch double-blade plow, a standard for small and medium-sized fields. With a maximum speed of 1,650 RPM, the CA operates smoothly and steadily, not a roaring machine, but a durable working machine. The CA's 4-speed forward and 1 reverse transmission system is traditional, not synchronized, requiring the driver to listen to the machine when shifting gears. But in return, it is a simple mechanism with few failures. Combined with a dry disc clutch system, the CA has the ability to drive precisely, suitable for row crops and flexible agricultural operations. The CA weighs in at about 2,800 pounds, with an 82-inch wheelbase, light enough to not sink, heavy enough to pull steadily. With an overall length of about 125 inches, it is compact enough to store in a shed, but big enough to cover a 20-acre field on a busy spring day. The CA consumes about 1 to 1.5 gallons per hour of work. That's a reasonable, manageable amount. From Nebraska testing data, the CA has a pulling force of up to 3,500 pounds, continuous operation, and high durability. People often say, it doesn't rush, but it never quits. And it is true, the CA is one of the few tractors that can run 6 to 8 hours a day, year-round, with only basic maintenance. If you grew up in the cornfields of Iowa or the soybean fields of Indiana, you'll know the image of a bright orange Allis-Chalmers CA. It was quiet, uncomplicated, but industrious and precise. It was like an old friend, reliable, unpretentious, and always ready to help without complaining. Today, many CAs are still in operation, not on large commercial farms, but in the homes of heritage enthusiasts, at agricultural fairs, or sometimes just as a carefully preserved memento in someone's garage. For many of our generation, the CA is not a good machine from the 1950s, but one of the best machines Allis-Chalmers ever made. Allis-Chalmers WD45. In 1953, as American agriculture entered a period of extensive mechanization, the Allis-Chalmers WD45 was officially introduced to farmers across the Midwest and South of the United States. This was not just a simple upgrade of the previous WD series, but a leap forward in performance and technology. From 1953 to 1957, more than 90,000 WD45s were produced, most of which were gasoline-powered and a few diesel-powered. The price at the time of launch was between $2,400 and $2,600, not a small number at that time, but worthy of the value that the WD45 brought to farmers. What made the WD45 special was that it was the first Allis-Chalmers tractor to feature a more powerful long-stroke engine, and later offered the option of power steering, a rarity at the time. It's no wonder the WD45 quickly became an icon of American farming in the 1950s. The WD45 used a 226 cubic inch four-cylinder engine with improved compression, producing around 30 horsepower at the wheels and 44 horsepower at the belt pulley. Impressive numbers at the time. For those who had pulled a three-blade plow or operated a thresher, the WD45 always had plenty of power and ran smoothly. The diesel version, equipped with a 230 cubic inch Buddha six-cylinder engine, was considered a true workhorse, although it was less popular due to its higher cost and more complicated maintenance than the gasoline version. The WD45's rugged 4-speed, one-reverse transmission with wet clutch provides smooth, reliable shifting through the growing season. The manual clutch with 3-plate pressure plate allows the operator to change between PTO and drive without stopping the machine, a great asset for continuous operation. With a length of approximately 128 inches, an 88-inch wheelbase, and a weight of nearly 4,000 pounds, the WD45 is the ideal size for most small to medium-sized farms. Its low center of gravity and good ground clearance keep it planted while still being nimble when turning at the end of a row. The 15-gallon fuel tank is enough to keep the machine running all day long without refueling. The integrated hydraulic system with snap coupler makes attaching and detaching the equipment easier than ever. This saves the farmer a lot of time and effort. Many of you may remember the feeling of holding the wheel of a WD45 under the summer sun on a cornfield or hayfield. It was more than just a machine, it was a loyal friend, a tool that helped feed the family for years. The Allis-Chalmers WD45 was not the biggest or most powerful tractor, but it is remembered as one of the best tractors the company ever produced in the 1950s. Today, WD45s still appear in antique car shows, at auctions, and sometimes, still quietly working behind old wooden fences. If you have owned or driven a WD45, please keep that memory alive, because it is a proud part of the history of American agricultural machinery. Allis-Chalmers D17. In 1957, as America was transitioning from World War II, Allis-Chalmers introduced a tractor that would revolutionize agriculture, the D17. Over the course of a decade of production, through 1967, more than 84,000 D17s rolled off the assembly line in West Allis, Wisconsin. The starting price was $5,400, a hefty investment, but well worth the performance. The D17 was more than just a machine, it was an icon. With its superior power, innovative power-directed transmission, and easy handling, the D17 quickly became the first choice for tens of thousands of farmers across America. Many still remember it as the last tractor my father drove, or the tireless workhorse of the old harvests. The D17 was powered by a 226 cubic inch gasoline or LPG four-cylinder engine and a 262 CUN diesel six-cylinder. Average power output was around 52 to 63 horsepower, enough to pull 4 or 5 harrows, outperforming its contemporaries. The engine started easily, was fuel efficient, and was extremely durable. Many D17s still run smoothly after more than 60 years. One of the groundbreaking features of the D17 was the power-directed transmission, which allowed shifting gears on the fly without stopping, a huge advantage when working in long fields. With 8 forward gears and 2 reverse gears, the operator could easily select the right speed range for each job without being entangled like with older tractors. Measuring 11 feet 8 inches long, with a 7 foot 9 inch wheelbase, and weighing in at 4,700 pounds, the D17 is compact yet sturdy, providing a stable feel when operating, a factor that older farmers often mention. It is large enough to work hard, but still easy to control even when having to turn around on narrow land. Live PTO allows for operating the mower, baler without stopping the tractor. Improved hydraulic system with traction booster feature, increasing pulling force depending on the weight of the equipment. Easy maintenance, common spare parts, especially with the gasoline version. User-friendly design, high seat, easy-to-reach gear lever, large steering wheel, everything is within reach. If you grew up on a farm in the 1950s and 1960s, you probably heard the steady hum of the D17 echoing through the morning mist. It was more than just an engine, it was the sound of hard work, of hope, and of America growing from the smooth, leveled rows of earth. Today, the Allis-Chalmers D17 lives on in the memories of generations to come. It is one of the finest tractors Allis-Chalmers ever produced in the 1950s, a testament to the durability, refinement, and faithfulness of American engineering in its heyday. If you keep a D17, you are keeping more than just a machine, you are keeping a piece of history, a piece of the soul of the American countryside. Allis-Chalmers Model G. In 1948, Allis-Chalmers introduced a small but distinctive machine, the Model G. Between 1955 and 1956, the Gadsden, Alabama, factory produced some 29,976 Model GS. When it was introduced, the price was around $760, and by the early 1950s, it had risen to nearly $900, a reasonable price for small farmers in need of a reliable tool. So what made this little tractor special? In an era when tractor manufacturers were racing to increase size and horsepower, the Model G went in the opposite direction: compact design, rear-mounted engine, excellent visibility, and high efficiency for vegetable, orchard, and small farm use. It was quiet, not big, but precise, and that was what many American farmers needed at the time. The Model G was powered by a Continental N62, a four-cylinder engine with a displacement of about 62 cubic inches. The engine was located behind the driver, an extremely rare and unique design. Power was about 10 horsepower at the belt and 9 horsepower at the drawbar, enough to operate planting, tilling, and light plowing tools. Using a 3-speed transmission and 1 reverse gear, some machines had an optional super-slow creeper gear, suitable for precision vegetable planting. Although there was no synchronization, the operator could still control it easily. With a large rear wheel and a small front wheel, the machine had stable traction but was still easy to control. The G was only about 114 inches long, and weighed about 1,285 pounds, without ballast. Despite its small size, its low center of gravity and sturdy frame allowed it to tow a variety of farming tools without losing balance. The high ground clearance was also a big advantage when working in the garden. The most notable feature of the Model G was its tool carrier design, allowing tools to be mounted just below the driver's line of sight, out of the way of traditional machines. This was extremely useful for jobs like planting corn, potatoes, beans, or gardening flowers. In addition, the machine could be equipped with a tiller, plow, planter, or even a lawn mower. The rear-mounted engine kept the machine cooler during summer work and kept the hot air from blowing on the operator. Not many tractors, before or after it, could say the same. Today, Model GS are still well maintained, and even run well in the field or at vintage car shows. This proves one simple thing: Allis-Chalmers has built a machine that has stood the test of time. In the long history of Allis-Chalmers, the Model G may have been the smallest machine they ever built, but it was one of the best produced in the 1950s. Not because of its power, but because it did what it was designed to do: serve the small farmer with honesty, precision, and durability. Allis-Chalmers D14. First introduced in 1957, the Allis-Chalmers D14 marked the beginning of the famous D-Series tractor line. During its 3-year production run through 1960, the Allis-Chalmers plant in West Allis, Wisconsin produced approximately 17,400 D14s. At the time of its introduction, the starting price of a D14 was around $2,500 to $2,800, depending on the configuration, a worthwhile investment for many family farmers at the time. What made the D14 special was not only its advanced technology for the time, but also its flexible and durable operation, along with the introduction of the power director system, a gear shifting system that changed speeds while running. This was a major improvement, allowing farmers to work faster in the field without stopping the machine, something that was unthinkable with previous models. The D14 was equipped with a 149 cubic inch, 2.44 L, inline 4-cylinder engine, water-cooled. There were 2 fuel versions, gasoline and LP gas, propane. With an output of about 37 horsepower at the engine, the D14 could reach nearly 31 horsepower at the drawbar, a very impressive number for a compact tractor at that time. Not only was the engine powerful, it was also famous for its durability and ease of maintenance. Many operators said that it started on a cold morning without complaint, and with the LP gas version, the low emissions allowed working close to home without worrying about the smell of smoke. The Allis-Chalmers D14 uses a power director transmission, providing 8 forward and 2 reverse gears thanks to a 4-speed main design combined with high-low stratification. The special feature is that the driver can switch between high and low while running, increasing efficiency and saving time significantly. This feature is very popular in busy farming work, from plowing, mowing, to pulling trailers. The D14 has a simple but sturdy frame configuration. The base weight is around 3,500 pounds, but can be raised to over 7,000 pounds with full ballast. With a wheelbase of 85.75 inches, the D14 can be flexible on small and medium farms. Standard 5.50 to 16 front tires, 12.00 to 26 rear tires for good grip. The live PTO rotates at 540 RPM to operate the following equipment such as mowers and straw crushers effectively. The mechanical brake system is simple but durable. For many of us, the D14 is more than just a machine. It is a memory of youth, the smell of newly turned soil, the warm sound of the engine echoing throughout the fields after the rain. It is the image of a father, a grandfather, quietly driving the D14 in the summer afternoon to feed the whole family. The Allis-Chalmers D14 deserves to be one of the best tractors the company ever produced in the 1950s. Although nearly 70 years have passed, many D14s are still preserved, operating, and displayed at antique machinery festivals today as a living symbol of a golden age. If you've ever driven, owned, or simply watched a D14 run through the fields, you'll understand why it has always held a special place in the hearts of generations of American farmers. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, those are the 5 most amazing Allis-Chalmers tractors of the 1950s, machines that were not only durable and innovative, but also associated with the golden age of American agriculture. From the small but useful Model G in the garden, to the WD45, a true icon in the vast fields, each machine is a piece of history, carrying with it the sweat, hope and pride of the American farmer. Thank you for taking the time to return with me to those glorious years. If any Allis-Chalmers have accompanied you, or remind you of something old and dear, please share in the comments below. I look forward to hearing your honest stories. See you in the next video, where we will preserve and cherish the values that never fade.